You have spent your life moving through the world, thinking that what you see, hear, and touch is all there is. You have believed in the reality presented to you, the surface of life, the shape of the days and the ticking of the hours. But there is another reality, one that exists not in the light of the sun, not in the clarity of reason, but in the silent, mysterious realm of your own mind. This is the realm of your dreams, the secret chambers of your soul, where the truth about yourself waits quietly, patiently in the shadows. When you dream, you are not merely imagining. You are not randomly assembling fragments of memory, whimsy, or fear. Dreams are not a random series of images, like static on a screen, or a meaningless noise that fills the night. They are messages, carefully coded, coming from a place within you that is far older than your waking consciousness. Every symbol, every figure, every impossible landscape you encounter carries meaning. Every interaction, every image, every feeling that rises within a dream is a word in a language your soul speaks fluently, even if your mind struggles to understand it. You see, dreams are mirrors of the soul. When you look into a mirror, you see your face, your form, the body you inhabit. But dreams reflect something far deeper. They reflect the essence of who you are when the masks fall away, when the expectations of the world dissolve, and when the weight of your daily life no longer obscures your inner vision. In dreams, you meet yourself not as you appear to others, but as you are: raw, vulnerable, creative, conflicted, magnificent. Symbols are the language of this inner world. A river may represent the flow of your emotions, a mountain the obstacles you carry, a shadow the fear you refuse to confront. These symbols are not random. They are not meaningless. They are the maps, the guides, the compass points pointing toward the truth of your inner landscape. And yet, most of us look at these images and dismiss them. We wake in the morning, shaken by the intensity of what we have seen, and we try to shove it away, to return to the routines and certainties of the daylight world. But the moment we ignore them, we ignore ourselves. Consider this: the figures in your dreams, whether they terrify you or comfort you, are not strangers. They are parts of you. They are fragments of your mind and soul, fragments that demand recognition, fragments that carry wisdom you cannot access through logic alone. The wise guide, the threatening shadow, the abandoned child, these are all aspects of you, aspects that have been waiting, sometimes for years, to be acknowledged. When you engage with them in your dreams, when you pay attention, when you reflect upon their presence, you are listening to the whispers of your unconscious mind, the hidden reservoir of your own truth. Your unconscious does not speak in ordinary words. It speaks in images, in symbols, in stories woven from your fears, your desires, your memories, and your hopes. A dream may show you a house with many rooms, each door opening to a different emotion or memory, each staircase leading to a new insight. The key to understanding is not to rationalize, not to dismiss, but to observe, to feel, to decode. You must learn to read your own symbols, to listen to the guidance they offer. For in every strange encounter, every impossible journey, there is a message tailored uniquely to you. There is power in this understanding. When you begin to see dreams as mirrors, you start to see yourself more clearly. You begin to notice patterns in your life, the recurring challenges, the repeated mistakes, the persistent fears. You notice the hidden desires, the longings you have been afraid to name, the gifts you have neglected to cultivate. Dreams hold the unspoken truth of who you are, and when you listen, when you reflect, when you act upon this truth, your waking life begins to align with your inner self. The unconscious is not separate from you. It is the deep river that runs beneath the visible world, shaping, influencing, and guiding every choice you make. Think of the moments in your dreams when you felt a profound clarity, a knowing that surpassed logic. perhaps it was a sense of warning, or perhaps it was a sudden recognition of beauty, of love, of connection. That knowing is your soul speaking. That is your inner guide, revealing truths you have ignored, fears you have avoided, potential you have denied. And yet, how often do we allow these messages to dissolve with the morning light, thinking them mere fantasy, mere fragments of imagination? To honor your dreams is to honor yourself. It is to step into a dialogue with your own soul. Each night, as the world grows silent, your unconscious prepares to speak. And each morning, if you choose to listen, you carry fragments of that wisdom into your waking life. Your dreams may warn you, they may console you, they may inspire you. They may reveal the paths you have never considered, the strength you have never recognized, the truths you have hidden even from yourself. The greatest gift of dreams is this: they show you that you are never truly alone, that guidance exists within, that the answers you seek are already inside you, waiting to be discovered. They teach patience, reflection, courage. They show you that life is not only what you see with your eyes, but what you perceive with your soul. And when you begin to honor this inner language, when you begin to engage with it, your life transforms. Choices become clearer, relationships deepen, and the noise of the external world fades in comparison to the profound clarity that emerges from within. Dreams are mirrors of the soul. They are not illusions. They are not accidents. They are the sacred messages of your deepest self, guiding, challenging, revealing, and inspiring you. And the moment you embrace them, the moment you learn to walk with them, your life begins to reflect the depth, the mystery, and the infinite possibility that has always resided in the unseen chambers of your own being. There is a part of you that hides. It is quiet, lurking just beyond the edge of your awareness, the corners of your mind you refuse to visit. It is not evil, not monstrous, not something to be feared in the way the world tells you to fear it, but it is unknown. It is the collection of thoughts, impulses, desires, and memories that you have labeled unacceptable, shameful, or unworthy. And yet, this hidden part of you holds power, wisdom, and truth. It is the shadow within, and it is the doorway to transformation. For most of your life, you have been taught to resist it. You have been encouraged to hide the parts of yourself that do not fit the mold, that do not meet expectations, that do not conform to the story others want to see. You have learned to smile when you want to scream, to nod when you want to say no, to walk away from yourself when you should be walking toward yourself. And in doing so, you have fragmented your being, leaving pieces of your true self behind in the shadows of your mind. Shadow work is the courageous act of going back into those shadows. It is the decision to face what you have denied, to sit with the parts of yourself that make you uncomfortable, that provoke guilt, anger, envy, fear, or sadness. To acknowledge them, to name them, to feel them fully, without judgment or suppression. For it is only when you confront what you have hidden that transformation begins. Imagine a house where the doors have been locked for decades. Inside are rooms filled with objects, memories, and truths you have avoided. Some rooms are dusty, some are dark, some hold things you wish had never existed. But each room contains a piece of your life, a piece of your soul, a fragment of the puzzle that is you. Shadow work is the process of opening each door, stepping inside, and seeing what has been left unattended. It is messy, uncomfortable, and sometimes painful, yet it is necessary. The shadow is not something to be conquered, it is something to be embraced. It is not the enemy. It is a teacher, a guide, a mirror. In the shadow lies the energy of your creativity, your courage, your intuition, and your authenticity. It is where the raw power of your being waits, hidden beneath layers of fear and conditioning. And when you begin to acknowledge it, When you begin to integrate it, you do not become weaker, you become stronger, more complete, more alive. Growth cannot happen on the surface alone. You can polish the exterior of your life, adorn it with accomplishments, relationships, and appearances. But if you ignore the depths, if you refuse to explore the hidden chambers of your own psyche, you remain fragmented. Shadow work is the excavation of the self, the excavation that allows the buried parts to rise, to be seen, and to be embraced. Only then can your life resonate with authenticity. Only then can you move through the world with integrity, with clarity, with freedom. When you face your fears, you realize that fear is not a barrier, it is a messenger. When you confront your anger, you see that anger is not a curse. It is a signal that something in you needs attention. When you encounter your shame, your envy, your jealousy, your regret, you understand that these feelings are not weaknesses. They are indicators of what you have neglected, what you have denied, what you have yet to transform. And in this recognition, the process of change begins. Shadow work is not a linear journey. It is not something that is completed in a single moment or a single lifetime. It is a continuous dialogue between the conscious and unconscious, between what you show the world and what you hide from yourself. It requires courage, honesty, patience, and compassion. It requires that you hold your own hand through the darkness, that you see yourself with gentle eyes, that you understand that the parts of yourself you resist are also the parts that will set you free. Every time you look inward, every time you confront a part of yourself that you have ignored, you grow, you expand. You reclaim energy that was trapped in denial or suppression. You release the patterns that have unconsciously dictated your life. You see the recurring challenges, the repetitive mistakes, the fears that have held you captive. And in that seeing, in that acknowledgement, you begin to dismantle the walls you have built around yourself. Shadow work is the alchemy of the soul. It is the fire in which the lead of fear, guilt, and self-denial is transformed into the gold of awareness, courage, and authenticity. It is where the most profound changes occur, not in the external achievements, not in the accolades, not in the validation of others, but within the unseen depths of your own consciousness. It is the work that makes you whole, that aligns the fragmented parts of your being, that allows the essence of who you truly are to emerge into the light. This journey is not easy. It is not comfortable. It challenges every belief, every habit, every attachment you have held onto. It forces you to meet yourself in ways that are raw and unfiltered. But it is also deeply liberating. Every fear faced, every shadow embraced, every truth acknowledged is a step closer to freedom. Freedom from the self-imposed limitations, freedom from the masks, freedom from the illusions that have kept you small. Shadow work is a commitment to yourself. It is the willingness to walk through fire without fleeing, to dive into the depths without fear, to look at your reflection in the darkest mirror and say, "I see you. I accept you. I am ready to become whole." And as you do, you begin to transform. Not just a part of you, not just a fragment, but the entirety of your being. You reclaim what was lost. You awaken what was dormant, and you step into the world with a presence that is undeniable, authentic, and powerful. For much of your life, you have moved like a shadow through someone else's world. You have lived according to expectations that were never yours, wearing masks crafted by the judgment of others, the rules of society, the limitations of circumstance. You have been praised for adapting, for performing, for fitting the shapes that others have cut out for you. And yet, in the quiet moments, the moments when no one else is watching, you have felt a subtle but persistent emptiness, a whisper that something essential is missing. That whisper is the voice of your own soul, calling you toward wholeness, calling you toward a life that is truly yours. Individuation is the journey of answering that call. It is the process of becoming fully yourself, not partially, not superficially, but in every sense of your being. It is the realization that the true purpose of life is not to conform, not to perform, not to imitate, but to integrate. To bring together the fragmented pieces of yourself, the parts you have hidden, the aspects you have neglected, the potential you have ignored, and to become whole. To individuate is to stop living as a reflection of someone else's dreams and begin living as a manifestation of your own. It is to recognize the parts of yourself that have been silenced, denied, or suppressed, and to invite them into the light. It is to acknowledge the fears that have held you back, the desires that have been shamed, the instincts that have been dismissed. Each of these fragments carries a piece of your truth, a key to your authenticity, a doorway to the life you were born to live. The world will always try to shape you. It will reward you for fitting in, for being safe, for staying small. It will offer comfort for compliance and criticize divergence. And yet, within you, there exists a spark that cannot be extinguished, a voice that will not be silenced, a longing to become something greater than what the world has dictated. Individuation begins the moment you choose to honor that spark, to listen to that voice, and to step away from the crowd in order to step toward yourself. Integration is the essence of individuation. Life is not about discarding parts of yourself, pretending they do not exist, or striving to become only what is socially acceptable. It is about embracing every part of who you are, the light and the dark, the brilliant and the flawed, the confident and the vulnerable, the angry parts, the fearful parts, the joyful, playful, creative, and ambitious parts. All of them are threads in the fabric of your wholeness. The moment you resist any aspect of yourself, you remain fragmented. The moment you deny the truth within, you remain incomplete. Your journey toward wholeness will not be linear. It is not a straight road or a clear path. It is a labyrinth, winding and sometimes confusing, filled with challenges, obstacles, and mirrors that reflect not only who you are, but who you have pretended to be. There will be moments of doubt, moments when the comfort of conformity tempts you back into the mold you were given, moments when the pull of fear threatens to undo your courage. But these moments are not failures. They are markers of the depth of your journey, proof that you are confronting the layers that have kept you from yourself. True wholeness arises from acceptance. Acceptance of what you have been, what you are, and what you are becoming. Acceptance of the shadows, the scars, the wounds, and the lessons. Acceptance of your limitations and your strengths alike. When you stop resisting, when you stop striving to be what you are not, you begin to reclaim the energy that was scattered in conflict and denial. You begin to see your life as a tapestry woven from every experience, every joy, every sorrow, every fear, and every triumph. Individuation is also a journey of courage. It is the courage to be different in a world that prizes sameness. It is the courage to speak your truth when silence is easier. It is the courage to choose your own path when the paths of others seem safer or more accepted. And with that courage comes liberation. The liberation of knowing that you are not a fragment of someone else's vision, but a complete, evolving, infinite expression of your own. As you integrate yourself, you begin to notice a profound shift in how you perceive the world. Life stops being a series of external validations and begins to feel like a mirror reflecting your inner wholeness. Your choices are no longer dictated by fear or obligation, but by alignment with your true self. Your relationships become more authentic, your work more meaningful, and your presence more magnetic. People feel the integrity, the authenticity, and the fullness of your being, even if they do not know the journey that brought you there. The process of becoming whole is not something that can be rushed or forced. It cannot be dictated by timelines or external milestones. It unfolds as you confront the truths within you, as you honor the parts of yourself you once denied, and as you consciously choose to live in alignment with the essence of who you are. Every dream you have, every intuition, every moment of discomfort, and every encounter with your shadow is a guidepost, showing you the next step on this path. Individuation is a lifelong journey, a continual unfolding of awareness, courage, and authenticity. It asks that you listen to yourself more than you listen to the noise of the world. It asks that you look inward with compassion, honesty, and patience. It asks that you embrace the fullness of your being without apology or compromise. And as you do, something remarkable happens. You begin to embody the life you were always meant to live, the self you were always meant to be, the presence you were always meant to carry. Life is rarely as random as it seems. The world around you appears chaotic, a series of events that collide and intersect in ways that often seem meaningless. You wake up each day to a flurry of meetings, obligations, conversations, and obligations, and you may believe that everything is just a product of chance, that life is a string of disconnected moments strung together by coincidence. But this belief is a veil, a lens that blinds you to the subtle, profound orchestration of the universe, a web of meaning that stretches far beyond what your mind can immediately grasp. Synchronicity is the language through which the universe speaks, the hidden signals embedded in the fabric of your life, guiding, nudging, and shaping you toward what you are meant to discover, to experience, to become. It is the uncanny moment when events align, when you encounter people, places, or circumstances that feel impossibly timed, yet impossibly right. It is the pattern behind what seems accidental, the invisible thread weaving together moments that your conscious mind would otherwise dismiss. Think of the moments in your life when a random encounter changed everything. Perhaps it was a brief conversation with a stranger that left an impression on your heart. Perhaps it was a book you happened to open on the exact page that answered a question you didn't even know you were asking. Perhaps it was a missed train, a sudden detour, a coincidence that felt like more than coincidence. These moments are not accidents. They are the universe nudging you, gently but persistently, toward the path you were meant to walk. The challenge is that most of us do not notice. We are too busy, too distracted, too caught up in the noise of routine and expectation. We rush through life, treating moments as disposable, dismissing the subtle whispers that could guide us. But if you slow down, if you pay attention, if you open yourself to the signs that are always present, life begins to shift. You begin to see the patterns, the connections, the invisible map laid out before you, waiting for you to follow. Synchronicity requires awareness. It requires that you trust your intuition, that you honor the quiet signals that rise from within. Sometimes it is a feeling, a pull, an unexplained sense that you are in the right place at the right time. Sometimes it is a vision, a dream, a fleeting thought that repeats itself until you cannot ignore it. These are the nudges of the universe, the small, persistent insistence that you are not lost, that you are being guided, that there is a meaning to the moments that surround you. Life is full of coincidences, yes, but not all coincidences are meaningless. There is a difference between chaos and orchestration, between randomness and design. When you begin to notice synchronicity, you begin to understand that life is not a series of disconnected events, but a tapestry woven from intention, unseen forces, and the alignment of your own inner self with the world around you. Every encounter, every challenge, every chance meeting is a thread, and each thread contributes to the larger picture of who you are becoming. The power of synchronicity lies in your response. The universe may place signs, opportunities, and guidance in your path, but it is your awareness, your courage, your willingness to act that transforms these moments into destiny. When you recognize the signals and follow them, you step into a flow that is larger than your individual will. You begin to move with the current of life rather than against it, and the path forward becomes both clearer and more exhilarating. Consider the moments when doors closed unexpectedly, when plans fell apart, when what seemed like misfortune turned into the doorway of transformation. These are often the moments of the deepest synchronicity. The universe rearranges circumstances in ways you cannot see, nudging you toward experiences, people, or revelations that you were not prepared to encounter until the timing was right. What appears as random setback is often an invisible hand redirecting you toward the opportunities your soul has been seeking. Synchronicity is also a mirror. It reflects the alignment or misalignment of your inner world with the outer world. When your mind, heart, and spirit are aligned with your purpose, the signs and patterns appear more clearly. Doors open when the timing is right, encounters feel fated, and the world begins to conspire with you rather than against you. Conversely, when you ignore your inner truth, when you resist your calling, synchronicity may appear as friction, repeated obstacles, or missed chances, all of which are signals that you are not in harmony with your path. Paying attention to these moments transforms the way you live. You become more sensitive to the flow of life, more attuned to the subtle language of existence, more willing to trust the guidance that arises from unseen forces. You notice patterns where once there was only randomness. You see meaning where once there was only chaos. You recognize that nothing is truly accidental, and that the life you are living is filled with invisible hands guiding, shaping, and supporting your journey. Synchronicity invites you to become a participant in your own destiny rather than a passive observer. It calls you to notice, to act, to engage, to step forward when the signs are clear and even when they are subtle. It reminds you that you are not alone, that life is not random, that the events of your days are not just happenstance, but threads of a much larger tapestry, one in which your actions, awareness, and choices are intimately connected to the unfolding of your path. The universe is always speaking. Every coincidence, every timing, every encounter is a message. And when you begin to pay attention, when you trust your intuition, when you honor the whispers of guidance, life begins to transform. Moments of chance become moments of clarity, obstacles become lessons, encounters become catalysts, and the journey of your life unfolds with a depth and meaning that was always there, waiting for you to notice. Life often feels like a storm raging inside you. One moment, you are confident, grounded, certain of your direction, and the next, you are swept away by doubt, fear, and confusion. You have asked yourself questions you cannot answer, wrestled with feelings you cannot explain, and faced choices that leave your heart racing and your mind spinning. This inner turbulence, though uncomfortable, is not a sign of weakness. It is the spark of transformation. It is the language of your soul, speaking in the only way it can when the clarity you seek has yet to emerge into the light. Pain, fear, and confusion are often treated as enemies. Society teaches you to avoid them, to escape them, to silence them. We seek comfort and certainty, convinced that a life without inner conflict is the life worth living. But the truth is that conflict is not a curse. It is a compass. The very sensations you resist, the thoughts you deny, the uncertainties you fear, are the markers that point toward growth, insight, and awakening. When you embrace these inner storms rather than flee from them, you begin to see their purpose. You begin to understand that they are not obstacles but guides, illuminating pathways your conscious mind cannot yet perceive. Pain, in particular, is a teacher. It is the fire that melts the ice of denial, exposing the truths you have tried to hide from yourself. When you experience loss, disappointment, or heartbreak, it is easy to seek escape, to numb the sensation, or to pretend it does not exist. Yet within the ache lies revelation. It forces you to confront what you have ignored, to examine the patterns that have led you to this moment, to face the shadows you have carried in silence. Pain demands attention. It forces introspection, and in the stillness that follows, clarity begins to emerge. Fear functions in a similar way. It is the body's way of signaling that something crucial is at stake. Fear highlights the boundaries of your comfort zone, illuminates the edges of your courage, and challenges the limits of your growth. When you run from fear, you remain trapped in cycles of avoidance. When you confront it, you gain insight into what drives you, what you truly desire, and what you have yet to embrace within yourself. Fear is not your enemy. It is your internal guide, pointing toward the areas where transformation awaits. Confusion, too, carries its own wisdom. Moments when the path ahead seems unclear, when your mind is full of questions, when decisions seem impossible. These are not signs of failure. They are the signals of awakening. Confusion forces you to pause, to reflect, to engage with yourself more deeply than you ever have. It is in this space of uncertainty that intuition begins to rise, that subtle truths begin to whisper, that the layers of illusion and pretense fall away. Confusion is not chaos. It is the fertile ground where clarity grows. Inner conflict, when faced with courage and honesty, becomes a lantern in the darkness. Each pang of discomfort, each wave of anxiety, each ripple of uncertainty is a light illuminating aspects of yourself that you cannot access through reason alone. These conflicts show you the divisions within your being, the desires you have ignored, the fears you have repressed, the truths you have denied. They invite you to reconcile the fragments of your identity, to examine the motives of your heart, to understand the complexities of your mind. And in doing so, you begin to move closer to wholeness. It is important to recognize that inner conflict is not something to be eliminated. It is not a problem to be solved in the conventional sense. It is an invitation, a call to awareness, to reflection, to engagement with the deepest parts of yourself. When you resist it, you delay your own evolution. When you embrace it, you open the door to transformation. Each moment of tension within your being is a signpost pointing toward growth, each emotional upheaval a guide toward the truths your conscious mind has not yet uncovered. Consider the moments in your life when you felt completely torn, when every choice seemed impossible, when the weight of doubt pressed heavily upon your chest. These are precisely the moments when insight is born. When you allow yourself to sit with the discomfort, to ask the questions without rushing for answers, to feel the full spectrum of your emotions, you begin to perceive patterns, connections, and meanings that were invisible in the calm and certainty of your routine. Pain, fear, and confusion are not random. They are the indicators of a mind and soul striving for understanding, signaling that something important awaits your attention. The process of finding clarity through conflict requires patience and presence. You cannot force insight, you cannot shortcut the journey. You must slow down, breathe, and turn toward the sensations that unsettle you. You must examine the stories you tell yourself, the judgments you carry, the self-imposed limitations that create the tension in the first place. Every question, every hesitation, every emotional surge is a guidepost, a marker along a path that can lead you to profound self-awareness and growth. When you navigate your inner conflicts with honesty and courage, you begin to notice a remarkable shift. The world outside begins to make more sense as well. Relationships, choices, circumstances, they all start to resonate differently when you have begun to reconcile the dissonance within yourself. You start to act not out of reaction, but out of understanding. Decisions are made with insight rather than impulse. Your perspective expands, your empathy deepens, and you discover a strength that is born not from comfort, but from facing the storms within. Pain, fear, and confusion are the sculptors of your inner clarity. They are the chisel and hammer that shape the raw stone of your being into a form of awareness, resilience, and wisdom. Every conflict, every emotional upheaval, every inner battle is an opportunity to refine yourself, to illuminate the path ahead, to uncover the guidance your conscious mind could not see on its own. And as you lean into this process, you begin to understand that the discomfort you once resisted is, in fact, the clearest sign that you are moving toward a higher understanding, a deeper truth, and a life that resonates with the fullness of your being. There is a language that exists beyond words, beyond logic, beyond the linear thinking of your waking mind. It is the language of the soul, subtle and symbolic, speaking to you in ways that are often overlooked, dismissed, or misunderstood. This language is the voice of your deepest self, whispering through dreams, nudging through intuition, revealing itself in flashes of inner vision. It is always present, always attempting to communicate, but it requires your attention, your awareness, and your willingness to listen. From the moment you close your eyes, your unconscious mind begins to speak in a dialect uniquely your own. Dreams arrive as narratives, images, and scenarios that defy the logic of the waking world. They are filled with symbols, figures, colors, landscapes, and events that carry meaning far beyond their surface appearance. A river may symbolize the flow of your emotions, a bridge the transition you are navigating, a shadow the aspect of yourself you have yet to acknowledge. Dreams are not random, they are coded messages, guides for your life, holding directions, warnings, and inspiration from the deeper layers of your being. Intuition functions in a similar symbolic manner, though more subtle, more elusive. It is the quiet nudge in your chest, the fleeting thought that appears without explanation, the sense of knowing that bypasses rational analysis. Intuition is the self speaking in whispers, offering guidance in situations where logic alone falls short. It is the bridge between your conscious awareness and your unconscious wisdom, the thread that links who you are now to who you are becoming. Ignoring these signals is to silence your own compass, while paying attention is to honor the intelligence that resides at the core of your being. Inner visions, moments of clarity, flashes of insight, or sudden imaginative realizations are also forms of symbolic communication. These are the mind's way of conveying truths that cannot be explained in ordinary language. They arrive unexpectedly, often when you are open, reflective, or vulnerable, providing glimpses into paths, choices, and possibilities that your ordinary consciousness cannot yet perceive. In these moments, the universe, your own inner universe, speaks to you, providing a map, a guide, a blueprint of your authentic life. The symbols you encounter in dreams, intuition, and visions are personal and universal at the same time. Certain archetypes and motifs recur across human experience, the journey, the shadow, the guide, the hero, the transformation. Yet within your own psyche, these symbols are tailored to your life, reflecting the unique patterns of your experiences, desires, fears, and potential. They are the signs, the signals, the threads woven into your consciousness, pointing the way to authenticity, alignment, and wholeness. To understand this symbolic language, you must cultivate presence and attention. You must learn to pause, reflect, and explore the images and feelings that arise. Journaling dreams, noting intuitions, contemplating inner visions, these are practices that allow you to decode the messages of your deeper self. Every detail matters: the colors, the emotions, the timing, the sequence. Each element is a piece of a puzzle, a guidepost pointing toward clarity, growth, and integration. The act of decoding symbols is not simply intellectual. It is experiential. It requires a willingness to feel deeply, to engage emotionally, to explore without judgment. A symbol is not a literal object, it is a mirror of your inner world. A figure that terrifies you may be a part of yourself you have denied. A recurring landscape may reflect the state of your mind or soul. A sudden insight may illuminate a path you have overlooked. By paying attention, by interpreting these symbols with honesty and courage, you gain access to knowledge that is otherwise hidden, knowledge that your conscious mind cannot reach on its own. Symbols also carry the power of integration. They reveal the connections between disparate parts of your life, the links between your inner experiences and outer reality. They show how your fears, desires, memories, and longings intersect, how your choices resonate with the deeper currents of your being. When you follow the guidance encoded in these messages, you begin to align with your authentic self, to live in harmony with your inner truth, to navigate life with clarity and purpose rather than confusion and reaction. Your authentic life is not something you stumble upon by chance. It is revealed gradually, step by step, through attention to these symbolic messages. Dreams may show the challenges you must face. Intuition may guide the decisions you are ready to make. Inner visions may reveal the possibilities that await when you act in alignment with your soul. Ignoring these signals is to drift reactive and disconnected. Honoring them is to navigate intentionally, consciously, and powerfully toward the life you were always meant to lead. Symbols can be subtle, and they often require patience. They are not always literal, not always immediate, not always comfortable. Some symbols may confront you with truths you have resisted, challenge the stories you have told yourself, or illuminate aspects of your shadow that demand acknowledgement. Yet in every confrontation, there is growth. Every symbol decoded is a step closer to wholeness, a moment of alignment, a piece of the map that leads to authenticity. There is a rhythm to this communication. The self speaks continuously, but only when you are willing to listen does the message reveal itself. Dreams, intuition, and visions converge, overlapping in ways that create clarity over time. They are not separate phenomena, they are expressions of a single intelligence, the deeper, truer you, that is guiding, nudging, and revealing. When you recognize the language, when you honor it, you move from a life dictated by external expectations to a life guided by inner truth, a life where every choice, every decision, every step resonates with your own essence. Learning to read these symbols is not a task, it is a dialogue. It is a practice of presence, reflection, and courage. It is an acknowledgement that you are not separate from the wisdom that surrounds you, that your inner world contains guidance beyond logic, beyond reasoning, beyond fear. Your dreams, intuitions, and visions are constantly pointing toward alignment, toward authenticity, toward the life that belongs uniquely to you. They are the language of yourself, the map of your soul, the call to step fully into your own truth.